specification for your course, which is managing quality. Let's start reading it. What is the aim for this? Learners will gain an understanding of the concepts of quality, quality control, quality assurance, and quality management. Now, all these terms which are affiliated with the quality, we will be discussing in the first lecture for this course. They will review this in the context of organization, considering how to apply principles of quality management. Learners will also consider how organizational culture can impact quality. So, first of all, it's all about managing quality, and managing quality is going to be discussed in the corporate sector, which is the organization. Because you people are very new, you people are level 4. That is why it is recommended to only give examples for small, medium enterprises. Although in the lectures, even in my document assignment classes, I will be giving examples of the multinational, but it is recommended for you people to only use SME, and there is a reason behind it. The reason is you cannot find weaknesses of the multinational companies. And when you will be attempting your answers from the assignment brief, it is necessary to give both challenges plus the positivity and the aspects of it. Assessment guidance. The work must demonstrate the learners have achieved the learning outcomes at the standards stated by each of the assessment criteria. Now, these are the learning outcomes, the one which is shown as 1, 2, 3, and that's it. And with that, we are having assessment criteria from 1.1 till 1 distinction 1. So whenever I would be saying ACs, it means assessment criteria, and learning outcomes short form is LO. So in total for this course, we are having 3 learning outcomes and respective assessment criteria. Learners will need to agree with the tutor's appropriate organizations on which to base their study. It is very important when you will be selecting an example for your study. We should have a proper thorough research on it, that each and every command, verb, and questions of the assignment brief, they are, you can say, what do we call that? Abiding by whatever the context is asked in the question. Tutors need to ensure that the organization chosen are suitable. SMEs are recommended as larger organizations are often too complex, and assessing the information required can be challenging. That's true. Now, the work should be illustrated with the real-world examples and should demonstrate substantial coverage of the unit indicative content. So throughout my lecture as well, I'll try my best to give you the examples which are from the real-world organizations. Till now, is it clear that how we are going to tackle this subject?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. See, I told you about LO1 and its assessment criteria. Now, right underneath the ending of the LOs, we have indicative content. What is indicative content? These are those points which you will be using in your assignment, what do we call it, solution. When I'll be showing you assignment brief for this course, whatever the question is asked, the points are already mentioned here. It is very rare when there are no point mentioned for the specific assessment criteria of the learning outcome. Then you have to do thorough research from the internet through various articles and websites. But when it is given to us, the points, you need to only search for those. And it is very easy thing. Even my lectures are made out of these points to make sure that when you will be doing it by your own self, it is easy for you. Like today, we will be covering the approaches and theories from Deming till Ishikawa, and we will be doing the practical applications in organization as well. So this is the today's task. We will be covering LO1 and 1.1 and 1.2 respectively. Are you sure with the indicative content as well? The concept?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you can see the starting words of the assessment criteria like evaluate, analyze, assess, then evaluate and evaluate, These are the command verbs. Now, in the ATHE, the command verbs are very important. They are so important, they have provided us with a whole, you can say, a worksheet, a document. Whenever you will be doing your assignment brief, even the lectures, we will be reconsulting each and every command verb so that it gets easy for us to write the answer. Because in general, the writing criteria of an answer is always introduction, main body text, and a conclusion. That is how we write an answer,
Hmm.
whether it's
Yes.
a report
Yes.
or anything. So, in the main body text, what we will be doing? We will be writing the answer exactly according to the indicative content points. Then, whatever the command word description is, for example, if it is agree, if it's evaluate, and so on. Lastly, concluding it with the examples and an overall conclusion to close an answer. That is how we write an answer. Okay. The verbs used in the assessment criteria in the ATHE units and assignments are very important. The evidence you provide via your assignment needs to show that you have met the assessment criteria, so it is important that you understand what the criteria expect you to do because it depends on the command verb. Evaluate actually tells us to talk about four things: strengths and weaknesses. Number two, similarities and differences. Number three is judgment. And lastly, conclusion. When you fulfill
Hmm.
all these four aspects, this means you have approved the APHE criteria and they will be happy. Thus, they will be grading you with the good grades as well. Here is a list
Okay.
of verbs used in the APHE assessment criteria and assignments. The explanations of the verbs provide alternative words or phrases that helps to clarify the verb used. It is also important to take into account the level of the unit when reviving the command verbs. So it is basically depending on the level of the units. You are at the level 2, that is level 4. So we will be considering all the command verbs which will be in the assessment criteria. Clear with the command verbs as well?
Yes.
Good. Now we have this is assignment brief for your course. After every completion of LO, I'll try to do each and every task. Task 1 separately, then task 2 separately, and so on. This is the scenario. These are the respective tasks. And one more thing, all the tasks from that is 1, 2, and 3 for this course specifically, and for the other courses as well. They are the exact ditto copy of your assessment criteria. So we can compare that as well. If we
Hmm.
compare task 1, bullet 1, it says evaluation of the
Analysis. No,
theories. Yeah,
evaluation.
yeah, evaluation
Evaluation. Yeah.
of theories of quality management used by organization. Now I'll go back to the specification and you can see it by your own self. The terminology
Yes.
is same, right? It's not
Yes.
new, it is exactly the same. So, what is the best part of this? We will be discussing every assessment criteria in detail, definitions, examples, whatever, from indicative content. And the answer, the points which will we be using in these points are going to be these from Demek, Jaran, Fibam, crossed by Isekaba. They've already given us. We are going to only write it
Hmm.
with the examples. And so on. The same process goes for task 2, 3, and that's it. These are three tasks on this course. Now, underneath the assignment brief, we have the suggested evidence. Now, suggested evidence is actually the guidelines for me and for you how we are going to write the answer. Let's read it. Work submitted by the learners must achieve the learning outcomes, that is the LOs, and meet the standards specified by the assessment criteria for the unit. To achieve a merit or distinction grade, the learners must demonstrate they have achieved all the criteria set for these grades. Where work with a past standard is marginal, assessors can take account for any extension work completed by the learner. Now, this is for me, but why I'm reading it to you? Because when I'll be checking your assignment, you will be sending me the solutions. Whenever I check it, I always open like this: ATHE specification, command verbs, suggested evidence, question, my solutions, and the lecture slides. Then I compare the work of the candidate of the learner whether it is up to the mark or not. And from that
Hmm.
basis, I send the correction to you. Clear?
Yes.
So listed evidence again. These are helping tools or guideline for you people when to write the answer. For example, you just read task 1, bullet 1. It is same as AC 1.1. Now, this is the description of it, that how we can make it a good answer. Let's read it. Obviously, we will be doing in detail in task 1, but today, because it's first class, I want you to clear your doubts to the maximum.
Okay, ma'am.
When considering theories, the learner must or should evaluate at least two and relate them to organizational practice. Now, in the indicative content, if you remember, there were around 5 to 6 theory names, right? From Ishikawa till
Yes.
the end. But it is a leverage which is given to you by the ATHE. When you will be writing the answer, you only need to select two of the theory and you will be doing it in detail. That is according to the command verb description and the helping ailing tools of suggested evidence. Because the word evaluate means first you are going to discuss first theories, strengths and weaknesses, then similarities and differences, then judgment, and lastly, conclusion. And the same thing you will be doing with the second theory as well. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
This is the interface of the lecture slide. This is lecture number 1. And we will be covering assessment criteria 1.1 and 1.2 only. Rest we will be doing in the second class.
Okay, ma'am.
Let's start with the definition that what managing quality is. Managing quality involves overseeing the processes, systems, and activities within an organization to ensure that products or services meet predefined standards and satisfy consumer requirements. Now, why we do manage quality? Why there's an urge for it? Because we want to satisfy the number of the consumers because we are selling them the products. If they are not satisfied, then how we are going to, as an organization, as a corporate industry, we will boost up with the profit maximization or the revenue. It encompasses various aspects such as planning, controlling, assurance, and improvement of quality throughout the organization. Whenever we talk about the quality in the organization, we have to go through these steps. First, we have to plan, then we have to control, then we have to assure that everything is going up to the mark or not. Then, if there's
Hmm.
a problem, we can improve. There is a room for feedback. And lastly, having a quality check. Now we will be doing the key aspects of managing quality and 1.2, basically in 1.2, we will be discussing the second bullet point of the slide, number 3 in detail. Continuous improvement. Seeking opportunities to enhance processes, products, or services over time. This involves analyzing performance data, identifying areas for improvement, implementing changes, and evaluating the effectiveness of improvements. When in an organization or the industry, you want to boost up further or you want to be sustainable for a longer period of time, then you need to improve yourself. You cannot stick to one thing like Apple. Every year they're coming up with the new specifications of the phone. So what they are doing, they're improving themselves, right? Just to thrive in the
Yes.
market. That is what continuous improvement is. Then customer focus, placing emphasis on understanding and meeting customer needs and expectations. This includes gathering feedback, addressing complaints, and striving for the customer satisfaction. Because the point of a producer of an organization to stay in the industry market is to focus on the consumer. When we're not going to satisfy their wants and needs, needs are the necessities and wants are the desires of an XYZ person, then what do you think? Whether will they be able to buy our product and be happy? They won't, right? They would lose the
No.
interest. Maybe they will go to the competitors. What are the competitors? They are your rivals. Rivals are your enemies in the industry. For example,
Yes.
um, Unilever and Procter and Gamble. If we talk about the pharmaceutical industry, then if I can example you of the food industry, like Starbucks and Tim Hortons, they are rival to each other, competitors. They're always striving hard to give good quality to the customers plus a good price as well.
Yes.
Okay. Now the components of the quality, which I told you that we will be doing in detail, the planning one. Defining quality objectives, standards, and processes to meet consumer needs and expectations. This involves establishing quality policies, identifying resources, and creating action plans. So, whenever we talk about quality planning, we are actually doing each and everything which we will be achieving in the further steps. Control. Monitoring and inspecting products or the services during the production or delivery to ensure they meet quality standards. This may involve techniques such as statistical process control, inspections, and testing. Whenever we want to control something, it means that everything is under power, everything is going on smooth when it is in the production house, and it is perfectly fine as well. We are going to do several tests on it. Then assurance, implementing systems and procedures to ensure that quality standards are consistently met. That is, in a continuous manner, we are not deviating with our goal, which we have made in the first step, that is planning. We are going to check that in third step. It includes audits, that is the check and balance, documentation, training, and compliance with regulatory requirements. That is, you are working perfectly, your production is going on great, but what if you're not abiding by with the laws and regulations which are compulsion from the government? So it is going to be a loss on you. And maybe they could fine you as well with the heavy taxation. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Now we will be starting our lecture from Assessment Criteria 1.1 of LO1. It says evaluate, which is the command verb, theories of quality management used by organization. We discussed that what quality management is, that is managing quality. We discussed its components as well. Now there are many organizations which actually use these theories, which are proposed specifically from the quality management. We will be discussing that, but we will be shaping the answer according to the command verb. It means examine the strengths and weaknesses, arguments for and against, or similarities and differences, which I taught you first. That whenever the word
Yes.
command verb evaluate comes, you will be writing first strengths and weaknesses, then similarities and differences, then judge the evidence from the different perspectives, that is the judgment, and make a valid conclusion or reason. Sometimes you need to give recommendations as well, depending on the question. That is what command verb
Okay.
evaluate means. Deming theory. It was developed by W. Edwards Deming. This theory emphasizes the importance of continuous improvement, statistical methods, and management's role in fostering quality. So, whatever the organization is going to use Deming theory, their objective and mission statement, that is the vision of the organization, that is, they are thinking that they are going to work on it. For example, there are many organizations which think and their objective and mission statement is to serve qualitative products with recyclable products. They encourage recycling rather than using the first hand products, just to make sure that we
Hmm.
can sustain the things for a longer period of time. Already we are facing scarcity. Scarcity means scarcity of the resources. We are having scarcity of water, that is deficiency of water. We're not having enough resources at the bank, and we're having problems. So we have to save our planet, our
Yes.
earth. Fleming theory is based on 14 key principles, including concepts such as constancy of the purpose, adopting a system approach, and driving out fear. So these are his theory is based on 14 perspectives and proposals. But we will be not going in depth because that is not our aim. We have to stick to the question because that is what is the requirement right now. Out of 14, these are few. That is, first is constancy of purpose. What is the reason you are sustained at a business? Why you want to sustain a quality? Adopting a system approach. System approach, there are very systems which are installed in the organization. For example, Customer relationship management is a whole system which is insisted in the organization, and like that, we have corporate social responsibility too. It is to assist. He advocated for the Plan, Do, Check Act (PDCA) cycle as a framework for the continuous improvement and problem solving. First, when we are going to improve ourselves, there will be lack chances that there will be problem arising, right? Because obviously we
Hmm.
are checking things again and again. For that, what he invented Plan, Do, Check Act. First, we should proper planning, then we should proper do the process, then we should check it, and then at the end we are going to process it to the customer. Because you're from the pre-engineering department, I wonder that the terms I use, I try to explain that as well. But if you think that few of the terms are getting difficult, you are going to stop me there. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
He emphasized the need for the organization to focus on improving processes rather than blaming individuals for the errors, promoting a culture of collaboration and learning. So, for a very beautiful thing which he literally did, and many organizations use the Deming theory. Many big names are using it. Why? Because there is no reason to blame the individuals. Individuals means the workers who are working in the organization and the consumers who are giving you the feedback because they're using the product. When you were making the decisions, you were the one who need to see whether the process was perfect or not for the outcome.
Yes.
Okay. Now we have Joran's theory. It was invented by Joseph M. Jorans. His aim was about the quality management, focusing on the meeting consumer needs. Needs are the necessities, and defining quality in terms of fitness for use. That is, what is best for you, use that quality or use that product. Why to intervene in others? He introduced the quality trilogy or triology. Three, though both the pronunciations are correct, which consists of planning, controlling, and improvement. We discussed this in detail that when we will be utilizing in an organization these aspects, first planning, then controlling, and then improvement, then definitely we are going to prosper with a good product. Then, his theory emphasized the importance of top management's involvement in quality initiatives and the need for a structured approach to quality management. That is, the top management are the people who are stakeholders, chairman,
Hmm.
senior managers, head of directors, then CEOs, and so on. Board of directors too. These are the people who are of top management, and they are saying that they should be involved in the daily decision making when we are talking about the quality, because it is their responsibility too, rather than not only blaming the workers that they have to produce everything of a good quality. Duran
Yes.
also introduced the key quality management techniques such as Pareto analysis, which means prioritizing the efforts based on the most significant factors contributing to the quality issues. Now, what Pareto analysis is? When we are going to take important decisions based on the quality. Sometimes what happens is people are not qualitative. They think quantity matters. We need a more quantity in less price. We think like that, right? We are humans. We want to
Yes.
save our money. But there are humans which want both a good quality plus a less price product. And the third category is expensive people who literally don't bother about the money and they only need quality. So he was the one who introduced the Pareto analysis, in which he will be giving the product to the people according to their base, like the way they want. That is why he insisted the trilogy as well. That is, always do planning, then do controlling, and at the end, do the improvement if needed.
Hmm.
Okay, then we have Fibom's theory. Developed by Armand V. Fibam, this theory emphasizes the total quality control (TQC) as a comprehensive approach to quality management. Now, when we talk about quality management, we have TQC, that is total quality control. We have TQM, total quality management, and so on. We have total assurance as well, TQA, and many forms of it. Fibon defined quality as the total composite product and service characteristics of the marketing, engineering, manufacturing, and maintenance through which the product of the service in use will meet the expectations of the customer. Now, you cannot solely blame a producer for the product of its quality. Many people are involved in it. Engineers are
Yes.
involved in it, manufacturers are involved in it. You have to blame them as well, right? Why to
Yes.
involve only one person? He introduced the concept of the hidden plant, that is, resources wasted on correcting defects and errors that could otherwise be used for productive purposes. Sometimes what happens is, not sometimes, honestly, most of the time, products are not up to the mark. They have some defects like P-paired dresses, P-paired bags, which are only having minor defects, but the companies cannot sell it generally or openly to the public. They are sold in the black market and then they reach it to us through various forms. Like,
Hmm.
for example, you have the concept of replica dresses, right? Of the big
Yes.
brands in Pakistan. Now, sometimes what happen, even in this factory of Ilan, when it's a brand, the dresses are not up to the mark. What happened is, uh, what hap- what happened is they sell those dresses in lesser prices to the retailers, which sell those dresses almost half of the price online or in the retail stores. People do buy it. Now, what B pairing means,
Hmm.
sometimes the cloth is going to be extra, or maybe it is going to be less than the standard. So if it is useful for you, you can buy that because the product is original. It is not fake. But the only problem is it is only having the defect. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. He emphasized the importance of employee involvement. That is, we need to take into consideration of the employees as well in the daily decision making because they are also an important body and entity of an organization. Customer focus, whatever the products you are making or generating, they should be according to the desire of the consumers and
Hmm.
continuous improvement in achieving and maintaining quality experience or excellence. When you're in the industry, in the market, you have to face challenges, competitive edge, and you need to be innovative as well. Innovative means unique, selling something new time to time. So you need to improve yourself. You cannot stay as it is.
Yes, you have to stick with the trends. You need to know what is trending and be more
Yeah,
creative.
exactly. If you remember, Nokia was a quite hit brand back in our early
Yes.
stage. Now, people really talk about it. People are always talking about Samsung, Hawaii, and this Apple
Yeah.
because Nokia was having 40% of market share in early 20th century, 21st century too. But slowly and gradually, they were in nurse that we are having large market share. Nobody can beat us. Apple was only minute SME at that time. And
Hmm.
now it's a giant. Nobody can beat it.
Yes.
So never think that you are the perfect. You need to improve yourself, even as a human,
Yes, they
like
became
even as a person.
overconfident.
Yeah, we get overconfident, and that overconfidence always kills our literally shine.